Thank you for that introduction, Celia. Unexpected but pleasant in any case. Thank you. Minister of State, Foreign Affairs in Canada, Minister Oblonsky, Honorable Minister of National Security, Minister Bunting, Deputy Commissioner, colleagues from the JCF, invited friends and guests, all protocol observed. Good morning to you all. Yes, good morning to you all. That's a very Jamaican thing. It's my duty, actually it's my privilege and pleasure this morning to just stand up here for a few minutes and offer you a few short words of welcome to our event and our visit today. And I'm very pleased to welcome you all here today because I believe that what we are accomplishing together, and you see evidence of that behind us, as a result of our joint efforts to embark upon a plan to rid the security forces of elements of corruption, will be viewed years from now by our men and women in uniform and by citizens in both Canada and Jamaica as nothing short of a game changer. I'm extremely happy today to provide for Minister Oblonsky and her team the chance and the opportunity to meet Minister Bunting and to travel and to see firsthand one example of the significant progress that is being made with her guidance and support as illustrated here at the JCF Polygraph Unit, which is in fact a center of excellence. I'd like to close my words of welcome by just saying thank you to everyone involved for all of their hard work and dedication to enable this project to become what I am sure will be in the near future, in fact it already is, an indispensable part of the Jamaican government's anti-corruption strategy for its members and further demonstration of leadership by Canada and Jamaica in the field of national security, both in Jamaica and across the region. Thank you very much. I'll now pass the podium over to Minister Bunting.
Thank you, High Commissioner. Minister Oblonsky, Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Your Excellency Stephen Hallahan, Deputy Commissioners, Permanent Secretary, other senior representatives of the JCF, members of the press, other distinguished guests. It's interesting how it's interesting as we chatted for a few minutes before we started the tour this morning, just how integrated in many respects Jamaica and Canada are. I, started out by sharing my own experience in education, having attended McGill University in Montreal. The permanent secretary had even more deeper experiences, not only being educated but also teaching, returning the favor in Toronto. And I am sure, like myself, I have a brother who went to Alberta, interestingly, to do his education and never returned. He has lived for the last 30 years, 30 plus years in Toronto, and his family, etc. So there's a huge Jamaican diaspora in Toronto and in Canada generally that most of us can associate with, and it really, in a sense, just speaks to the long history of friendship, of cooperation, of both government and private sector interaction that continues to grow and build today. So it's really, I want to extend a very special welcome to you, Minister. As we celebrate our Golden Jubilee, or 50th year of independence in Jamaica, we also celebrate 50 years of close diplomatic relations with Canada, with the government and people of Canada. Over the years, the two nations have developed strong trade ties, in particular, even far predating independence. And Canada, I think today, is still Jamaica's second largest export market. And it is one of our most important countries for imports as well. But as Minister of National Security, I can speak to the cooperation in both defense, and in policing. And that is something that is very significant for us. We look forward to it growing. We believe it is going to be integral, as the High Commissioner said, in terms of changing the game, changing the paradigm of the quality of professional that we have in the police force. The anti-corruption branch, I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, DCP Hines, about 5 years now we've had, 4 to 5 years we've had the anti-corruption branch operational, and I think it has had a salutary effect on the professionalism of the force. But of course, we're not just standing still. We want to keep improving that, and until we can feel proud of the level of professionalism and be assured that it's comparable to the Canadian police force or the best other standards of best practice right across the world. In recent times, the Canadian government, through the Canadian Military Training and Cooperation Program, contributed over 100,000 Canadian to our facility at the JDF headquarters, geared towards offering training to persons enrolled in the Jamaica Military Aviation School. This is in addition to a MOU which we have recently signed to put a Canadian hub, a military hub to facilitate relief operations for the Canadian forces, such as what occurred during Haiti in recent times, but not just to serve the Caribbean, but the entire, or this part of the hemisphere. And we see that as just another step in terms of growing and deepening the relationship. Just yesterday, Canada played a key role in a exposition that the Ministry of National Security held on the waterfront in downtown Kingston, and the F-18s, you know, or the F-18 was the star of the show, and we were very happy that this was another example of friendship and cooperation from the Canadian military in particular. So we are happy for the relationship that has supported our fight against corruption and crime and violence generally. We have further initiatives related to cybersecurity, maritime border security, anti-money laundering, and we are very happy that Canada has been such a reliable and trusted partner for Jamaica in our development efforts. So very much like to welcome you here, Minister, and hope that you will have an opportunity on this visit to enjoy more of Jamaica than just the business side, and if not, that you will come back in future to enjoy Jamaica, and in particular in this our Jubilee year to celebrate with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister Bunting. Certainly, it is our Jubilee year, and we will be having a lot of excitement, a lot of celebration in Jamaica. And if it's one thing we do very well in Jamaica as well, apart from the 100 meters, it is celebrating in fine style and with much excitement. I'd now like to ask Minister Diane Oblonsky. She is the Minister of State and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Minister Oblonsky was first elected to the House of Commons in 1993, re-elected several times, most recently in 2011, and was appointed Secretary of State in Small Business and Tourism in 2007, and has held various posts within the Government of Canada as Minister of State, overseeing now the Americas and consular affairs. She previously served as Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Finance and has served on several committees in the House of Commons, including Citizenship and Immigration Committees, Human Resource Development, and on the status of persons with disabilities and health. Prior to entering political life, she enjoyed a varied career, including experiences ranging from teaching junior high school to managing a grain farm operation and building a successful law practice. So you can see the experience and expertise here today is on this side of the room is significant. Okay, so we're very happy to have her here today, and if our flags will behave, we welcome her to make some comments. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that warm introduction. I'm very glad to be here with my policy chief, Mr. Yves Gagnon, who has been an ambassador in this part of the world in a former life. Now he's sharing his wonderful insights and experience with me as a fairly new minister. I've been in the job about a year. And also with Mr. Sylvain Fabi, who is the director for Latin America and the Caribbean in the Department of Foreign Affairs in Ottawa. And we also have Mr. Ian Benson with us, who is he's kind of our guardian angel, really. And so it's just wonderful to be here in Jamaica. I first fell in love with Jamaica in 1988 in Calgary, Alberta. During the 1988 Olympics. Oh yes, with the Jamaican bobsled team. Made its appearance. What a wonderful group. Just their joy in life, their enthusiasm, they were trying something new, they were breaking out of the box, and they had a wonderful time, and they shared their joy with everyone else. It was a great introduction to your country. And here I am, it's my first visit. So it's a very good time for me. So Minister Bunting, thank you for touring this facility with me. Now just picture this. Here's a politician. Has a cuff on his arm to measure blood pressure. Has 2 fingers with measurement on them. And then around him is the media with their cameras. And I said to him, this would be every journalist's dream, is to be able to interview a politician who's hooked up to a lie detector. Politicians are always, very careful in their communications, and so it would be interesting. But really appreciate meeting you, Minister Bunting, Superintendent Kessler. We had a little meeting earlier where he went through the work that's being done with the polygraph unit here. And we're just really glad to be here with members of the JCF and all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Earlier, we had a very informative presentation about what's happening in this unit and toured the facilities. Ladies and gentlemen, Jamaica can be so proud of its progress in creating a modern police force built on foundations of integrity and competence. That's what's so needed in all our countries. And Canada, too, is very proud of its long-standing friendship with your country, with Jamaica. As our MC said, we are celebrating 50 years of diplomatic relations this year. Canada was one of the very first countries to recognize the newly independent country of Jamaica. But, as your MC said, we had relations before that. And I was very interested, that we were importing rum from your country. Seems to be a market for those good things. We also are celebrating, ladies and gentlemen, many years of partnership, as Minister Bunting said. in the fight against criminal actors who threaten the very fabric of our society. And in this region, as you know, Jamaica is rightly seen as a real leader on security issues. This Center of Excellence for Polygraph Testing and Training, right here in Jamaica, demonstrates that leadership. The polygraph is a critical tool in the fight against anti-corruption activities. And that's why Canada is committed to working with you to further its use in the region. Since 2007, Canada has supported the work of the JCF Polygraph Unit and Anti-Corruption Branch. And today I'm so pleased to announce that Canada will be providing new funding for polygraph equipment and upgrading of existing facilities and training. You only have Superintendent 3 trained. So right now there are 3 people trained in the use of this groundbreaking equipment, and I understand that Jamaican trained polygraph operators are in hot demand in this region, and so you know, a demand has to be fulfilled. So that's what we're working together to do. We will be putting almost $750,000 million and making it available for expansion of this polygraph unit. And ladies and gentlemen, this new involvement by Canada will means that Jamaica will be able to upgrade their involvement. There have been some tremendous standards that have been put into place by Commissioner of Police Ellington and his team of dedicated officers. And thanks to these expanded facilities that are going to be coming very, very soon, and to extra training for JCF staff, we believe that this will become a regional hub of polygraph expertise. It's going to make a tremendous difference. And I'm also pleased that this new hub will be built in partnership with the College of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, where some of the training will take place. The inspector was telling us this morning that that's where his training took place. Ladies and gentlemen, we shouldn't forget that this initiative is going to make a difference for real people, especially for Jamaicans. It will strengthen confidence in law enforcement in the region, and that will increase public safety, because we know the officers that are in charge of public security are sound, certified officers that the public can have real confidence in. It's also going to improve the efficiency of regional intelligence gathering as well. So we all look forward to the success of this initiative. This new partnership between Jamaica and Canada will produce more security, more justice, and better governance in our shared hemisphere. So best wishes to everyone involved, and thank you for having me here.
A listening ear for any new security professional coming into the field, especially one so young as myself, who needs the expert guidance of the representatives of the government of Jamaica and the JCF. And Deputy Commissioner Hines has untold experience. I will not betray his years of service with a number this morning, but responsible for some of the major operations conducted by the JCF, and under whose leadership, along with Commissioner Bent and Deputy Commissioner Bent and Commissioner Ellington, the JCF has moved from and grown from strength to strength. Deputy Commissioner Hines, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister Oblonze and your team visited from Canada. Minister Bunting, PS, Dr. Barnes, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Let me first say that yesterday I got a few calls of nervous residents of the corporate area. And they were saying that it is the anniversary of a not too insignificant event 2 years ago. And there were some birds in the skies, and that they were wondering what is happening. I was quick to to point out what was happening, and it allayed some fears that were being generated. The support of the government of Canada and the people is not insignificant to Jamaica. In fact, it is through this initiative where we were able to set up a polygraph unit in the year 2007. The support and the initiative, which at its genesis in September 2007, saw one member of the JCF and a member of the Jamaica Defence Force attending the examiner's course at the Canadian Police College in Ottawa. And in January 2008, these examiners commenced polygraph examination on members of both the JDF and the Jamaica Constabulary Force. In September 2009, through the sustained support, another place was given to another member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and that made the number 3 in total. The unit has been kept exceedingly busy because among some of the work that they have been tasked to do is all our senior officers, before they are promoted to higher ranks, they must successfully undergo and pass a polygraph examination. We also use it to vet persons for placement in sensitive police areas, and we also use it for the re-enlistment process. It is also used in some investigations, and so I'm sure the polygraphers will tell you that they are inundated with requests for the examination from time to time. And as mentioned earlier, our Caribbean neighbors have also been calling on us. And so as we improve, we expect that the work and the demand for our service will also improve. To the extent that we are using the device, and to the extent that we are building confidence in the public of Jamaica, that the Jamaica Constabulary Force is not only an organization that recognizes it has challenges, but is willing to do so using the most sophisticated technique, very unpopular. We are at pains to say that not many employers can say that their employees are in fact fit for purpose through the process of integrity screening. I can think that the Jamaica Constabulary Force may be the only organization in this country that can say all its senior managers have in fact gone through this process and have successfully completed it. And to the extent that that is the way we intend to proceed, we hold it to the people of Jamaica that we are not going to impose on them any officer that we have doubts about their integrity. And we are very, very happy that the Canadian government is helping us in this process. And so the beneficiaries of this will certainly be the people of this country. Again, we thank you very much for your generous support. We want to continue with the partnership, and we also hope that somewhere down the road we can in fact return the favor to you. Thank you very much again, ladies and gentlemen.